The Travelers' Championship had already delivered plenty of memorable moments throughout the week, but as round 3 began, very few people expected the leaderboard to become this competitive. The conditions looked ideal for low scoring, yet everyone understood that one mistake on this course could erase several holes of hard work. Every player stepped onto the first tee knowing that Saturday would decide who entered Championship Sunday with momentum and who would spend the final round trying to recover. From the opening shots, the atmosphere felt completely different. The galleries were larger, the tension was higher, and every birdie received an even louder reaction than earlier in the tournament. Among the biggest names, Scottie Scheffler once again carried the attention of the golf world. The world number 1 had been playing with incredible consistency throughout the season, and many believed another victory was only a matter of time. But golf has a unique way of changing expectations in just a few swings, and several players were determined to make sure this would not become another comfortable march toward the trophy. One of the first competitors to grab everyone's attention was Shane Lowry. Right from the beginning, he looked completely locked in. His ball striking was sharp, his rhythm looked effortless, and perhaps most importantly, his putter immediately caught fire. Every birdie opportunity suddenly felt realistic. Long putts dropped with confidence, short putts never looked uncomfortable, and each successful hole increased his belief that something special might be possible. The commentators quickly noticed that Lowry wasn't simply making putts, he was rolling the ball with total conviction. That confidence spread throughout his entire game. Instead of playing cautiously, he attacked flags whenever an opportunity appeared. Every successful approach shot created another scoring chance, and the leaderboard slowly began to tighten. At nearly the same time, Viktor Hovland quietly started building his own impressive run. The Norwegian star looked calm from the very first hole. There was no sign of pressure despite the enormous expectations surrounding this championship. His opening drive split the fairway perfectly, leaving an ideal angle into the green. The approach landed close, and the birdie followed without hesitation. That simple sequence immediately announced that Hovland had arrived ready to challenge anyone. On the following holes, he continued repeating the same formula. Fairway, green, birdie chance, confidence. Every successful shot seemed to make the next one even easier. His swing remained balanced, his tempo never changed, and the confidence inside his putting stroke became impossible to ignore. Spectators began gathering around his group because they sensed something exciting was developing. As Hovland climbed the leaderboard, attention slowly shifted toward the possibility of a showdown with Scottie Scheffler later in the day. Meanwhile, other contenders refused to disappear. Akshay Bhatia produced one of the most exciting starts of the afternoon. Known for his fearless style, he attacked difficult pin locations without showing the slightest hesitation. One beautifully shaped iron shot stopped only a few feet from the flag, bringing loud cheers from the surrounding fans. Another birdie quickly followed. Suddenly, Bhatia was moving through the leaderboard almost as quickly as anyone on the course. His aggressive mindset forced everyone ahead of him to keep making birdies because standing still simply wasn't enough. Cantlay also reminded everyone why he remains one of the most dangerous players whenever his iron game comes alive. Facing a demanding par 3, Cantlay delivered a beautifully controlled shot that settled safely near the hole. The crowd appreciated not only the precision, but also the calmness with which he executed it. Throughout the afternoon, the quality of golf continued improving. It almost felt as though every contender was responding directly to another player's birdie. Nobody wanted to lose ground. Nobody wanted to blink first. Then the spotlight naturally returned to Scottie Scheffler. Entering the round near the top of the leaderboard, Scheffler displayed exactly why he has spent so much time as the best player in the world. His control from tee to green remained exceptional. Even when approach shots didn't finish inches from the hole, they consistently left manageable birdie opportunities. More importantly, he never appeared rushed. Every decision looked calculated. Every club selection reflected complete trust in his game plan. That patience became one of his biggest strengths. While others occasionally forced difficult shots, Scheffler accepted safer targets whenever necessary, understanding that consistent birdies often defeat risky brilliance over 4 rounds. Yet Saturday wasn't going to follow an ordinary script. Hovland continued answering every challenge. Whenever Scheffler produced a birdie, Hovland seemed ready with one of his own. Lowry refused to disappear. Bhatia kept applying pressure. Cantlay remained close enough to punish every small mistake. Instead of one player pulling away, the leaderboard became increasingly crowded. Every few minutes, another name moved upward, creating constant uncertainty about who actually controlled the tournament. As the players reached the middle portion of the course, excitement around the property reached another level. Fans moved rapidly between holes, trying to witness as many key moments as possible. Roars echoed across the course almost continuously, making it difficult for spectators to know exactly where another birdie had just happened. The commentators repeatedly mentioned how unusual the pace of scoring had become. Excellent golf was appearing everywhere. One memorable approach after another landed dangerously close to tucked flags. Several putts curled into the center of the cup at exactly the right speed. Players who normally celebrated with restraint couldn't completely hide their emotions because they understood every birdie mattered. Hovland especially looked fearless. On one demanding approach, he attacked directly at the flag instead of choosing the safer side of the green. The strike was almost perfect. The ball landed softly before spinning to within only a few feet, creating another excellent birdie opportunity. The gallery erupted instantly. That shot wasn't simply beautiful, it sent a clear message to everyone else competing. Hovland wasn't interested in protecting position. He was chasing the lead. Scheffler, however, answered with the calm confidence that has defined his recent dominance. His short game repeatedly rescued difficult situations. Whenever an approach finished slightly out of position, he relied on delicate chips and composed putting to maintain momentum. That ability to avoid costly mistakes kept him firmly at the top despite constant pressure from every direction. As round 3 moved toward its final stretch, one thing became obvious. Championship Sunday was going to feature one of the strongest final pairings of the entire PGA Tour season. The only remaining question was which player would finish Saturday with the psychological advantage. Every shot from this point forward suddenly carried enormous importance, setting the stage for a dramatic finish that nobody watching would soon forget. As the final stretch of round 3 began, every player understood that there was no longer any room for hesitation. The comfortable feeling that had existed earlier in the afternoon had completely disappeared. Every swing now carried real consequences, and every putt had the potential to reshape the leaderboard. The galleries sensed it as well. Fans packed every fairway and surrounded nearly every green, waiting for the next dramatic moment to unfold. One roar echoed across the course before another quickly followed, creating an atmosphere that felt much closer to a Sunday finale than a Saturday afternoon. The pressure was rising with every hole, but the leading contenders continued responding with remarkable composure. Scottie Scheffler remained exactly where everyone expected him to be, near the very top of the leaderboard. His greatest strength wasn't flashy celebrations or impossible recovery shots. Instead, it was his incredible consistency. Every drive found a good position, every approach created another opportunity, and even when he missed his target by a small margin, his short game rescued him before any real damage could be done. That level of control has become one of the defining characteristics of his career, and once again it allowed him to remain firmly in contention. Yet this time, the players chasing him simply refused to let him create any separation. Viktor Hovland continued applying relentless pressure with one outstanding shot after another. His confidence had grown throughout the day, and now it was impossible to ignore. Every swing looked free, every iron shot flew directly toward its intended target, and his putting stroke remained smooth under enormous pressure. One perfectly struck approach settled only a few feet from the hole, bringing another eruption from the crowd. Moments later, the birdie dropped right into the center of the cup. Instead of watching Scheffler pull away, Hovland had drawn level once again. The battle that golf fans had hoped to see was finally becoming reality. Neither player was willing to surrender even the smallest advantage. Every birdie seemed to receive an immediate answer from the other side of the course, turning the final holes into a thrilling back-and-forth contest. While all eyes focused on the two biggest names, the rest of the field continued producing unforgettable moments of their own. Akshay Bhatia refused to fade away, delivering another fearless attack at a difficult pin that rewarded him with yet another realistic birdie chance. Patrick Cantlay remained quietly efficient, relying on his exceptional ball striking to stay within striking distance. Shane Lowry continued demonstrating why confidence with the putter can completely transform an entire round. His steady performance kept him firmly inside the conversation, ensuring that nobody near the top could afford even a single careless mistake. That constant pressure transformed every hole into must-watch golf. Players weren't simply trying to make birdies anymore. They were fighting to avoid losing valuable ground against competitors who seemed incapable of making mistakes. Then came one of the defining moments of the afternoon. Scheffler faced another demanding approach into a tightly protected green. The margin for error was incredibly small. A shot struck slightly too aggressively could easily leave a difficult recovery, while playing too safely would almost guarantee the loss of another scoring opportunity. Trusting both his preparation and his swing, Scheffler committed fully. The ball launched high into the sky before descending softly toward the flag. It settled inside comfortable birdie range, drawing another wave of applause from the packed gallery. It wasn't the flashiest shot of the day, but it perfectly represented why he continues dominating professional golf. Precision under pressure often proves more valuable than spectacular brilliance. Hovland, however, showed that he had absolutely no intention of allowing the world number one to gain any breathing room. Standing over his own approach, he displayed complete confidence. His strike sounded pure from the moment the club met the ball.